it is? Is it in real
I
life?
think it's very exciting because at the end is the tools that you have to be able to do your job the best possible way, and you can dream about players that you can bring in as well. You can dream how you can develop the ones or change certain positions to player to fit in what you want to do. I think it's a big part of the industry. At the end of the day, these walls and the stadium and the training is great, but at the end, it's about the people we have, the staff that we have, and the players that we have to manage daily basics. And I think I enjoy it.
And with the window being open now, we're playing so many games and so many matches. Does it make your job any harder with some players knowing they might not be here or some uncertainty with their future? You don't know exactly who you've got in your squad yet.
Yes, it's been tricky. Obviously, a very strange pre-season with the circumstances, and obviously that the window is still open after almost a month of competing. But we knew that before, To be fair, I am lucky because the way the players are conducting is been really good. I don't have any issues with that. We try to explain to them the situation, that we could not manage it in a different way, that they have to be a little bit flexible with that, and we try to communicate to the players the intention that we had as a club, and so far we've been okay.
Would you understand it or accept it if some of the players were a bit distracted or a bit with their minds elsewhere, given the uncertainty?
Yeah, I do understand, because I've been in that position, and you can try to be very focused, but then you leave the training ground and you get a phone call from the agent, a phone call from another manager, a phone call from another owner. Your head is spinning, you have a family, you're thinking about moving to different country, different cities. So all this is part of your daily life. But I just ask them, when you guys are here, try to be focused, committed, and represent and defend our football club as good as possible. And then, what would happen sometimes is not just in our hands.
And just lastly for me, you mentioned that you yourself were in a situation on deadline day once. I think that was 1 hour to go when that all got moving with your move to Arsenal.
15 minutes late, I think it was. So it's part of that, and I know the nerves and the stress and the uncertainty that generates. So I've been on that shoes, and probably that helps me a little bit to understand certain things when players feel like that.
When you look back at your life since then, that must be quite an important few hours, really, the way everything has happened. Like, you probably wouldn't be sitting in this chair, for example, if that didn't...
And at some stage I thought it wasn't happening, and I had this gut feeling that somehow it has to happen, is the right thing for me, and I was waiting for that opportunity for a long time. And when that fact came through, even if it was 10-15 minutes late to the Premier League, I was so happy and relieved, and I think it was the right thing to do.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Matt from the Express.
Hi, Mikel. Just wanted to pick up on the transfer window stuff. Managers, they say what a great manager you are from the great signings you make. But in the modern era, is it as important for a manager to be a good seller of players that they don't want? Because it strikes me that if you're going to get the right balance of your squad, that's almost as important as signing the right players in the first place.
Yeah, I think, as you said, it's really important, the balance you have in the squad, not just for the manager, I think for the future sustainability of the club financially as well. You get that wrong, I think you put yourself in a really difficult position. And then I think sometimes we are very critical the way we look at certain players, and you just focus a lot on the negatives, and they all have negatives, but they all have a lot of positives as they were here. And sometimes if we focus more on those, we can get much more from players, and sometimes you just want to look in the other side, and the reality are not better than what you have. And I try to put most of my energy on the players that I have and how to make them better.
But how much of your energy do you spend on actually getting rid of players?
With the players?
No, to get rid of players. You spend a lot of energy with your current players. You spend some energy trying to recruit players. But how much of your time do you spend trying to move on the players that you don't want?
Well, obviously we spend time. We have a very good communication with the players and with the agents to tell them exactly what the plans are, you know, because sometimes it's not that you don't want to play. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it is that you don't want a player to play that much. And then he needs to accept that role in order to have a good emotional balance around the team as well, that cannot interfere all the time in a daily basis. And you have to put effort there. And but you have to accept that when it doesn't happen, when it cannot happen, okay, how can you turn that situation into a positive one and get that player contributing the way you believe that is the best thing for the team?
Just wondered, obviously, huge congratulations to Saka for his call-up. He was torn in the summer as to whether he wanted to play for Nigeria or England. I just wondered if he spoke to you about it, because you obviously were courted by England for a period, weren't you, when they thought you could play for England? I just wondered what your opinion is on that, and whether he's right to follow his heart or whether he's made...
I had a conversation with him and I said, you want my advice, come and see me. But I think it was something really personal. I think it comes down to the family, the culture, the way he's been raised as well. And I don't think he had many doubts about it. He made a decision, and now he has the incredible opportunity to represent his country at the highest level, and I think he completely deserves it. And last night he was really happy.
And just finally from me, last night was another great big scalp again in the various competitions. You've claimed a number of them, but last season arguably Arsenal finished where they did because they had too many draws against some of the lower teams in the division. Do you think you're learning the killer instinct you need to become a top four challenger? And are you turning more of those draws? Do you think you're capable of turning more of those draws into wins?
Yes, obviously that's something that we have to improve dramatically. We want to give ourselves the best chance to be as high as possible on that table. We have to do it at home. I know that it's going to be crucial, our home form. I think away we have improved so much already. So let's keep trying to do. But every game is tricky. They all want to do the same thing, which is win football matches, and some of the small details make the difference.